So what was very interesting in this study with this relatively simple regimen using this drug administered monthly until progression and or intolerance, we saw on the one hand encouraging safety information. In other words, we saw manageable suppression of blood counts, no hair loss, minimal mucositis, I mean really just a very small number of patients with only grade 1-2 toxicity, no peripheral neuropathy, and a generally very manageable safety profile. The efficacy signal, however, was what really has caught our imagination, and that certainly is a solid 30% response rate in this very heavily pretreated population. And most importantly, when we look at the extramedullary disease population, of which there are a significant number in this trial, the largest number in any prospective trial in this particular setting to date, what we see there is that there is a solid response rate overall, again, of around 30%. Interestingly, in the extramedullary disease that's arising from bone, the response rate is a little higher. From the soft tissue only disease, it's a tad lower, but the bottom line is for a single agent, we're seeing a level of activity between 20 and 30% across the board that is not seen with other single agents in this space. For example, a prior daratumumab study in daratumumab naive patients generated a single agent response rate of 17%. And obviously you have to be careful about cross-trial comparisons because they're different populations perhaps. But in the sense that this is the first study of its kind to have such a large number of patients with extramedullary disease, we're really quite encouraged. The other thing that's been particularly striking in our analysis is we've looked at those patients who've had CD38 targeting antibody and those who haven't. And what we see is that the incidence of extramedullary disease after CD38 targeting monoclonal antibody therapy is significantly higher than those that have, compared to those who did not have an CD38. And what that means is, it doesn't mean that monoclonal antibody therapy doesn't work against EMD. It just means that when you relapse after daratumumab or Isatuximab, you see extramedullary disease emerge in a significant number of patients, certainly as far as this study is concerned. And importantly, that seems to be much higher than those who haven't had CD38 targeting therapy.